So nice to see you all. I'm going to start off with a simple metaphor. A fish doesn't know it's in water until someone takes it out. And the quality of that water, the actual size or volume, the amount of that water is going to determine how well that fish is able to live. Just like that fish, most of us don't realize how much our environment, meaning I'm talking about our physical location, our social circle, the media we consume, and even our daily routines influence our ability to succeed, to grow, to expand, to flourish in the life we have around us. So many of us are absolutely unaware of how much our environment actually affects us. So, we're going to do a little bit of research today. We're going to share with you some studies and some insights just so you can take note and understand how much your environment's actually affecting you and what you can do about it. I'll give you an example like a bonsai tree. It's not going to thrive if you plant it in the desert. Just like your goals aren't going to thrive, you're not going to thrive in an environment that doesn't support them. And so today we're going to explore 6 environmental forces that are either accelerating your success or they are sabotaging your success. And it's one of those things you're not aware of until you're aware of it. And awareness is the first step. And then we're going to, have a call to action and something you can do about it. So what are the 6 environmental factors? Number 1, physical location. Does where you are physically matter? We're going to share with you some research that shows it does. Where you are actually physically matters on how well you're succeeding, if you're going to succeed or not, and how much you're going to succeed. Number 2, your social circle. Who you're consistently spending time with absolutely makes a difference on either, again, accelerating your success or sabotaging your success. Media consumption. This is part of your environment, what you're consistently listening to, what you're consistently feeding your mind, what you're tuning into, what you're listening to, what you're reading, what you're watching. That absolutely either sabotages you or accelerates you towards your results that you want. Your mental state, that's an environment. The environment you live in your own head, the chatter. Self one, the person who's constantly attacking yourself, taking yourself down, talking about negativity. Or self two, the version of you that's constantly looking for opportunities to grow, to learn, to expand, to see what else is possible. So the mental state. What about your emotional state? I mean, gosh, you can have all the right thoughts, but if you're not getting the right emotions, I call it emotional rocket fuel. How many times have you woken up and said, I just don't feel like it today? That's an emotion. It's an emotion. If you can change that emotional state, all of a sudden, bam, you feel like it all the time. It's up to you. You get to decide that. But where's your emotional home? What environment are you creating emotionally for yourself? Is it toxic or is it supportive? Is it accelerating your results or is it sabotaging your results? Finally, discipline structures. The habits, the routines, the consistent things you do or don't do. That is totally an environment you create consistently or don't. The lack of environment. So 6 factors that you have total control over that if you learn how to control these, it'll absolutely accelerate your success. Or if you don't control these are the 6 things that'll 100% sabotage your success. So let's dive in. The soil you're planted in. What does that mean? Well, your neighborhood, where you physically choose to live, the soil you're planted in is the soil you're choosing for growth. I don't know about you. My wife loves the garden. I'm a little interested in it. So we've had problems planting certain trees where we've lived. I remember we lived in Tampa and we tried to plant this tree in our front yard and it would never grow. It just wouldn't grow. And we finally went and dug up some and did some soil samples. We found out that we had sand. We didn't have dirt. We didn't have the nutrient rich stuff needed for that kind of plant to grow there. And I was like, oh, I thought we were horrible gardeners. Nope, we're just putting the plant in the wrong place. Same with you. You put yourself in the wrong place consistently, you're not going to grow. So what does that mean? The neighborhood you live in is your soil. If it's rich with nutrients, access to great education, safety, role models, you're more likely to grow. Research shows, there's actually research done on this. Research shows that living in an affluent area positively impacts educational outcomes. And here's the other side, more so than a poverty or struggling neighborhood affects them negatively. So being in a struggling place doesn't necessarily take you down, but being in an affluent place absolutely speeds you up and props you up. That means, how can you stay around opportunity rich environments? I remember when I was little, my dad used to tell this story where when he first met my mom, they were living in Venice Beach, California, in a little, I think it was 400 square foot apartment. They washed their dishes in the bathtub because there was no sink, little tiny place. And I remember he worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. And one day he made enough money that he could move 5 streets down to this place called Marina del Rey. It was a whole different universe, even though it was 5 streets that way. But there's truth behind it. Being able to cross over to that different neighborhood puts him, eventually me and our family, in a whole different position. What about you? Have you crossed over? Have you made it a goal? Now, what if you can't move? What if you're like, listen, dude, that sounds great and all, but have you seen the stock market? Have you seen what's going on in the world? Jobs, egg prices, I don't know what it is. What if you can't move? Well, there's something you absolutely can do. What you can do is called an island of excellence. Write that down. Island of excellence. Can someone type notes in the comments for me? I'll watch the chat box over here. Can someone just type notes of the key points so anyone who comes in late can kind of see the main points? So if you want to write a note, write physical location, and if it's rich with nutrients, like great education, safety role models, you're more likely to grow. Second note you might want to write is something called islands of excellence. What are islands of excellence? Thank you. Is it Ferdinand? Thank you for writing those notes for me. Islands of excellence. What does that mean? Well, let's say you live in a horrible neighborhood. It's rough. You don't have the funds, means, or ability or timing to get to a better neighborhood. What can you do? Well, you can find something called an island of excellence. What's that? You can find a library somewhere with lots of education, lots of knowledge, a quiet space that you can get around and feed your mind. This was something my dad did when he didn't have anything. He went to bookstores and barely had enough money to buy a book, but he'd sit there and devour the whole thing. You can find mentors. You can find someone you can connect with, one person that you can regularly connect with that can be your island of excellence, a person who can help you transition or transcend to that next place that's a little better off. You could find virtual spaces. We have one. We'd love to offer you the ability to come and join us. Virtual spaces with others who are doing well, where it might not be a physical neighborhood, but you can get in a digital proximity with people who are doing great, that are willing to share information, willing to share tips, willing to help you connect, willing to do all these things. One of the coolest things that I found, Velio's on, hey man, he said proximity is power. It absolutely is. I was talking to a good friend of mine after we both spoke at an event in London, Dr. John Deach, and we were chatting. We were going back and forth, and I said, where are you living these days? And he said, well, the world is my home. I'm like, oh gosh, what does that mean? He goes, no, I bought a condo on the cruise ship called the World. It's this ship that's constantly circumnavigating the globe, and it has residents on board that you can buy one of the cabins, and it's your condo, it's your residence. And whenever it's in port, you can fly in and get on and off as often as you want. And then the ship moves from country to country, port to port, and you can stay on as long as you want. It's your place. And then you can fly off whenever you want, or you can have guests on, whatever you want to do. Like, that's a thing you can do. You can live on a cruise ship 24/7, just going around the world constantly. He goes, absolutely. He says, you want to know the best part though? Everyone on board are the coolest people you ever meet in your life. And he said, there's something crazy. I mean, in order to have a residence, I think there's a minimum net worth of about $5 million. And even the small 1-bedroom cabins start at like $1 million. I'm like, okay, rich people things. And he goes, no. You'd be surprised. Everyone on board is so willing to help without asking a thing from anyone. I mean, you go have breakfast on this thing or go have lunch. He's like, it's crazy. You sit down. You're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Someone's like, great. What kind of things are you working on these days? What are you up to? And you share with them an idea of a project you're on, and they go, I know someone. Let me connect you to my banker. They'd probably fund that for you. Or here, let me connect you to my VCs in San Francisco. They'd probably want to be on board and be some of your partners. Or I know a guy who'd be a perfect COO for that. They just connect the dots effortlessly, seamlessly, without asking. They're just willing to do it. They're excited to share. I said, what a cool environment. What a cool environment. And I said, I wonder if I could help create an environment like that, digitally at least, where people are always willing to help. People are always willing to just connect the dots for you and help you get to that next step. So we've been working on that in the background. So here's the key. Studies show exposure to affluence boosts educational attainment more than exposure to poverty harms it. That's a neighborhood effects on educational attainment study that was done. And what we're looking at there is being in the wrong place doesn't necessarily take you down, but being in the right place absolutely accelerates you. And so my question to you is, what's the right place for what you're trying to accomplish? What's the thing you're wanting to accomplish? I remember one time I really wanted to get involved in tech startups. So I looked at my wife. I said, hey, would you be okay if we moved to San Francisco for a few months and just go meet people and network? We ended up having dinner with Sergey Brin and his family that trip. We ended up meeting some wonderful founders who had started, scaled, and exited their businesses. We met some incredible friends we've kept since then, going out and doing fun stuff together. And we had a handful of deals come together with a bunch of startups, which was very fun to work on because we were in the environment. We went to where those things happen. Remember, like Velio said, proximity is power. Are you in the right place for the thing you're trying to accomplish? Second, the mirror of motivation. It's been said you are the average of the 5 people around you. Your social circle, who you're choosing to spend time with, is an environment. So let's talk about your crew, your people, your posse, your tribe, your clan. I don't know what you call them. Jim Rohn said it best. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, here's the caveat. That could be physically spend the most time with, or these days, I don't know where my phone is, it could be actually digitally spending time with people. How many of you have a group chat, something that you're constantly sending messages back and forth? Those become the 5 people you're spending the most time with. You're constantly talking with them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're constantly sharing memes with them. You're constantly sending reels to them. That becomes your social circle. So if you look at that, research backs it up. Specifically, students with a strong support system are 50% more likely to hit their academic goals. And this applies far beyond school. People with strong support systems are 50% more likely to hit their goals. Just think of that if we make it a little bit more broad. 50% more likely to hit your goals if you have a strong support system. Fascinating. Your social circle can either lift you or limit you. Are your friends being like, hey, come on, chill out. Why are you working so hard? Does that even matter? Do you really think you're going to do that? I don't think it's going to work anyways. Come on. Remember last time? Do you have a social circle that's talking you out of stuff? Or do you have a social circle that's hyping you up? Come on, what can I do to support you in getting your goal? No. Don't stop. You're so close. Come on, just push through. Go for it. You can do it. Go a little more. Keep going. Check in. How are you doing? You said you'd have 4 by now. Do you have 4? You only have 3. Step up. What are you doing? Let's go. What kind of social circle do you have? Are they talking you out of it or are they talking you into it? Are they hyping you up or are they tearing you down? You've picked these people. Why'd you pick them? Are they helping? So your social circle can lift you up or they can limit you. Take a moment, scan your circle. Who supports you? Who are the ones who hype you up, have your back, challenge you, call you out, really help you to step up? They lend a hand and they also shove you in the right direction and trains you. Who are the ones who are constantly telling you, what are you working so hard for? Come on, let's just go be silly. Let's go do something else. Nothing wrong with being silly, but if they're constantly trying to distract you, if they're constantly talking you out of your goals, if they're constantly trying to get you to, get off track, come on. Who challenges you to grow? Do you even have a friend that's willing to look you straight in the face and say, hey, you said you were going to do 10. That's only 9. Let's go. Do another one. Or you said 10. Why not 11? Come on, step up. Do you have people that'll challenge you, hold you accountable, support you? who will ask you the hard questions. Are you tracking how you're doing in your relationship? Well, it's good, it's fine. What does that mean? 0 to 10, how's it actually doing? And what are you doing to make it 1 point better this week? Do you have friends that'll challenge you, not just let you say, it's fine, it's good enough? People who will actually hold you accountable, push you. Well, I'll tell you this, surround yourself with energy givers, not energy zappers. People who help support you and help you accelerate, not who drain you and drag you down. Build success support network with peers, mentors, coaches, friends, colleagues, associates, business partners. Something I learned along the way, you can make money doing just about anything. One of the most important factors at this stage of my life is handpicking who we choose to run with in business. Why? Because I'm going to talk to them just about every day. I'm going to interact with them all the time. We're going to be on business trips together. We're going to be in meetings together. We're going to be hanging out together. We're going to be having lunch and dinner together. We're going to be doing all of life together. I'm not willing to settle and let someone into that circle who's not willing to be one of these support systems and who I can't be that support system for them. If I'm not able to challenge them, if I'm not able to support them, if I'm not able to be for them, I shouldn't be at that table either. But if I'm willing to do that for them and they're willing to do that for me, check this out. You water me, I water you, we both grow together. I love the hashtag, we all rise together. That's the key. Find a tribe you can grow with. Find people that you can water, they can water, and we all grow together. It's amazing when that happens. So what do we talk about? Physical environment, mental environment, social. Gosh, what about media consumption? The diet for your mind. Let's talk about media. It's a mental diet we're feeding ourselves every day. Just like food, junk in, junk out. If you're putting in great content, supportive, inspirational, things that inspire you, challenge you, cause you to focus, gosh, you're going to spark action. You're going to bring out the best version of yourself. You're going to feel alive. You're going to go for it. But if you're endlessly in the scroll trap, comparing to everyone else's stuff, also the people who lie about it. But if you're constantly mentally comparing yourself, it's going to drain your confidence, distract you, constantly knock you off track, constantly make you feel bad about yourself. So here's a crazy thing. There's research that says high screen time is linked to lower performance, particularly in kids, not much different for adults. The more time you're spending scrolling mindlessly, the worse your performance is getting. So here's my challenge for you. Audit your social media, audit your media for a week. Why don't you replace 30 minutes of scrolling with 30 minutes of a podcast or 30 minutes of a book? Learn a new language. Proud to say, a little pride moment here. I was number 1 globally in Duolingo, I think a week ago. I kicked everyone's butt, got the highest score on the whole app. I was so proud of myself. Then I found out there's a whole nother level. But that's the key. I found something to do. I caught myself scrolling a little and I said, what am I doing? What's something I'd love to learn? I was like, gosh, I'd love to learn French, Spanish, Italian. Well, shit, why don't I just do that instead of scrolling? So I started doing it, and then I found out there's competition. There's people in there. There's peers who are challenging me. I love a good challenge. All of a sudden, I'm competing, having a ton of fun, learning new languages. What can you do mentally? What can you feed your mind? What can you challenge yourself to do to grow psychologically and specifically with the media? Think of the songs you're listening to. Listen to the lyrics. If you had a child, is that the story you'd tell your kid? I listened to some of the songs and I went, shit, I never read this bedtime story to my son. I better choose new music. I better choose some music that I would read to the little version of me. I better choose something that I'd want my mind hearing repetitively. Choose your music wisely. Choose your books wisely. What about your mental state? The lens you see through. Let's talk about fixed mindset versus growth mindset. The mindset is the lens through which you experience everything in your world. Carol Dweck found that people with a growth mindset who believe effort leads to mastery. It does not matter how skilled you are. If you're willing to put in the effort, eventually you will succeed, is what they believe, are more resilient and successful overall. A fixed mindset sounds like, oh, I'm just not good at that. Yeah, that's not my thing. I wasn't born with it. I don't know how to do that. A growth mindset says, hey, I can get better. Show me how. Let me try. Let me try again. Let me try again. They're just constantly, let me add it. Let me add it. I'll figure it out eventually. That's what they're up to. So think about how you show up when someone gives you feedback and says, hey, here's one thing you could do better. Are you the type of person who hears feedback and goes, I suck, it's over, give up, why try? Or are you someone who says, hey, thank you for helping me trying to improve. I love feedback. Giving me more. I'd love a chance to be a little bit better. Do you have a fixed mindset? You just give up and throw the towel in, or a growth mindset? You get excited and find ways to improve. What about effort? Fixed mindset says, I shouldn't have to try. It shouldn't take effort. It should just happen if it's going to. Versus a growth mindset. Effort's how I grow. If I want to be good at anything, I just got to put the effort and time in. Boom, I'll get there. So let me ask you this. Where in life have you been playing small because of a fixed mindset? Now, I used to ask, do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset in life? What I've learned is all of us have both in different categories of our life. So a better question I'd ask you now is, which part of your life do you have a growth mindset, and which part of your life do you have a fixed mindset? And what would happen in that part of your life? It's usually stuck or plateaued or getting worse. That's a fixed mindset. What would happen if you started to apply a growth mindset in that category of your life? I'm pretty sure you know the answer. Start to improve. So we've talked about a few of these. Here's a couple more. Emotional state, the fuel or the friction. Your emotions are a GPS. Your emotions are messengers. Joy, excitement, gratitude are pulling you forward. But anger, frustration, boredom can hold you back unless you learn how to regulate them. Emotional regulation, the ability to regulate, to calm, to find your center in the storm. Research shows that people who reframe negative experience, what psychologists call cognitive reappraisal, tend to stay on track with their goals and have better mental health and even better social relationships. So, are you able to do this? Are you able to stand in the storm of something that used to upset you, anger you, frustrate you, scare you, and breathe, stay centered, stay present, get to a place where you have emotional resilience? You can stand in the storm. The same situation happens and it doesn't affect your heart rate, your blood pressure, your temperature, your mind or body. All of a sudden you can stay calm in the middle of it. You still understand, you're aware that you don't like it, but it has no pull, no effect on your nervous system. You learn how to regulate. Here's the key. Here's a tool. You could use the phrase, name it to tame it. When emotions show up, acknowledge it. So acknowledge it and identify this is stress, not failure. This is anger. This is frustration. Acknowledge it. Step 2, appreciate it. Thank you for coming. It must mean that I care. It must mean that I don't like the situation. It must mean that I'm freaking out a little. And then adjust it. So 3 A's, acknowledge it. I see you. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming. And adjust it. I'm going to choose something else today. Choose a different emotion and move forward. If you can remember that 3A formula, you can move through any emotion as long as you practice those emotional resilience techniques, mindfulness, breath work, meditation, these things, to be able to stand in the chaos and not let it affect you like it used to. That's something you can change in your environment. Final piece here, discipline structures, your inner guardrails. Discipline beats intelligence just about every time. Let's bust the myth. Success isn't about how smart you are. It's about how consistent you are, period. That's been shown time and time again. The consistent people beat the skilled people or smart people just about every time. Research shows self-discipline is a better predictor of academic success than overall IQ. Your daily habits, routines, or an environment are like a GPS keeping you on course. Simple model you can think about, this comes from Rory Vaden, called the focus funnel. You can look around in your life, and if you want to get your habits dialed in, you can ask yourself really simple, what habits can I eliminate? What things am I doing every single day that I can just straight up eliminate? I can get rid of. There's no reason I need to be doing that. That'll free up some time. Number 2, what habits can I automate? What things can be systematized so that I don't have to keep doing it every day, but it still gets done? Number 3, what can be delegated? What can I get off my plate and have my assistant, my friend, my family, my colleague, my associate, my wife, my husband, my kid, what can I have someone else handle for us? And then finally, concentrate. What matters most? What is most important to me in this? And can I be laser focused on that? Remember, discipline isn't restriction, it's freedom through structure. Okay, let's wrap this up. So, your environment is your silent coach. It's the thing that's always helping you or the thing that's always slowing you down. Let's bring it all together. Your environment is that invisible coach whispering in your ear all day. It's either helping you thrive or it's keeping you stuck. Today, we've explored how physical space, people, media, mindset, emotions, and routines are all working together to influence you, to either accelerate you or to sabotage you. And so this is the things. These are the levers you can pull. You pull these levers in the right way and boom, you're off to success. If you want to upgrade just one piece of your environment this week, pick one of those 6 and pull that lever. Make that adjustment and watch what happens. Final call to action. If you want to master your environment and your mindset, I'll give you an invitation. If you want to just not understand these ideas, but actually live them, actually apply them, have a support group, a peer group that holds you accountable, that challenges you, then join us at Performance Coach University. Our program teaches you how to intentionally design your environment for peak performance, both personally and professionally. You'll build powerful habits, elevate your thinking, and create structures that support success in everything you do each day. All you got to do is visit performancecoachuniversity.com and join our next cohort. The next level of your performance begins when you take full control of your environment. P.S. I'm working on a program that mixes the best tools in PCU with cutting-edge AI. If you want access to it, and it's early access because I haven't given it to anybody yet, all you got to do is send me a direct message and say PCU AI, and I'll send you the very first prompt so you can test it out yourself and see how it works. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. If you know someone who needs this, please tag them or share this video with them. And come and join us at Performance Coach University. And if you want access to that cutting edge AI program, send me a direct message that says PCU AI, and I'll send you the first prompt so you can check it out. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.